Hello creative friends, I'm Anastasia and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm finally starting out our dining room makeover and I'm taking you along every step of the way. If you've been here before, you know that I usually make content around thrifting, but since we recently bought our first home, I now have full creative freedom with my decorating. So of course, this year we will be diving headfirst into some room makeovers so our house really starts feeling like an expression of us. Of course, my usual content will continue, but now you'll be seeing some room makeovers sprinkled in as well. Make sure you subscribe if you love room makeovers, decorating, thrifting, and DIYing, because there's going to be plenty of that happening on my channel. Let's go. First, let me show you what we're currently working with. Our living room is long and narrow, and it's separated into two sections by this archway. So it does feel more like two rooms than one big room. The fireplace is down on the far end with the ceiling fan, which, by the way, is the only light fixture in here. But even with the fireplace on that side, the other side is bigger and just feels more like a living room to me. So that's where we currently have our living room. So since we moved in, this extra little living room space has just been empty. You can see in these listing pictures from a few owners back that they spread out the living room furniture all the way in both sections, which just feels really disjointed and not very conversational at all to me. And in this most recent listing photo, they staged it as an extra seating area, which is definitely better. As we lived in the house, we kept feeling like we could possibly make this area our dining room. Now we do have a formal dining room, which is off the other side of the kitchen, but I'd like to make that into a studio for recording my videos and doing my DIYs. This extra living room that we have is also off of the kitchen, but it's off of the other side of the kitchen. So, with that being said, we've decided that we will make this extra space into our dining room. Now that you have an idea of the space, let's get into my design plan. For this makeover, I want a comforting cottage vibe with moody colors and lots of warmth. I know I want to go a little dark with the paint, and I want it to be an earthy green or an earthy blue. These two are my current favorites, Ethereal Mood and Elusive Green by Sherwin-Williams. Sticking with earthy colors, I want to warm up the space with browns, charcoals, and muted burgundies. I want a mixture of antique gold and bronze accents with lots of rich, warm woods. This is my dining table and bench that's coming in the mail soon, and I'm so excited to show that to y'all in part 2 of this makeover. It gives the perfect cottage feel with those spindle legs. I'll be using a combination of these images and just playing around with the design until it feels right to me. Overall, I want this room to feel super welcoming and like a warm hug when you walk in, so that it's the perfect backdrop for memorable gatherings around the table. To get in the right mindset for designing a room, I like to watch content about room makeovers and decor, so I hopped on over to Skillshare to check out their interior design classes. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. I really enjoyed taking this class called Easy Interior Design, where Demetrius walks you through every step to designing a room from start to finish. He also shows how to create a mood board in Canva, which is my favorite website to make mood boards as well. This class and so many others are available on Skillshare, which is the largest online learning community for creatives like us. They have thousands of classes on topics like interior design, DIY, crafts, productivity, photography, painting, and so many more. Being newly into 2025, resolutions are still on our minds, and many of us have health and wellness goals. But what if we thought of creativity as a mental wellness goal? If being creative is an outlet for you, like it is for me, consider joining Skillshare so you have access to thousands of classes where you can flex your creative muscles and grow in all the ways you've wanted to. The first 500 people to use the link in my description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can become your most productive and creative self. These are my Facebook Marketplace chairs that I picked up. I drove an hour to get these and I just love them. I think they're so unique. I love the spindle details on all of the chairs. This is the only one that has arms, but they all have these beautiful spindles at the top. I've never seen anything like these chairs before that have the spindles, and then the cane is in perfect condition. Obviously, you can see the elephant in the room is that they need to be reupholstered. So that is going to take a little bit of work on my part. I've never done that before, but I think we'll be able to figure it out. You can kind of see from the bottom of these just how old they are. They're made with nails. So while I couldn't find any information about them online, I think they're probably antique. So I'm gonna have to make sure that they're structurally sound. Definitely need to get some cushion added into these seats and then reupholster them in something really pretty. I still need to pick a paint color, so I ran to the store to get samples, and I wanted to share my little hack, and that is to paint the swatch on a piece of paper to avoid having swatches all over your walls. I'm going to have some company over soon, so I didn't want to paint patches all over my walls, so instead I painted paper and taped them up, and then I can move them around the room as well. I wanted to show you guys a couple of the paint samples that I got. You can kind of see what color scheme I'm wanting to go for. I have really been loving like blue, green, grays. And I had thought about over and over again whether I wanted to go with a more neutral palette in here, maybe a grayish, but something just kept screaming at me to go with one of these greenish blue gray colors. This one's showing up way darker on camera than it actually is, but I'll show you that. Okay, so this one is, these are all Sherwin-Williams colors. This is Evergreen Fog. This is Evergreen Fog mixed 25% lighter. This is Ethereal Mood. This is Elusive Green. And there's Ethereal Mood again, Jogging Path, Link Gray, Cornwall Slate, and Earl Grey. I just think it's gonna be too green, although it's a beautiful color. The lighter one of that color is also a bit too green, and I really debated on going with Ethereal Mood. I've seen it in other people's spaces, and I just think it's beautiful, but I'm scared that it's too brown, and it's a bit muddy. It's like a muddy sage, but I'm just a little bit scared of it. This one might be my favorite. It looks really dark charcoal on camera, but it's not. It's kind of a perfect blue, green, gray mix. So I think that one is my favorite for now. Pretty sure I just heard my rug got delivered. So excited. Okay, let's go get it. Oh wow, that's so pretty. You never really know what you're gonna get when you order a rug online. You can try to look at the pictures, but it's always gonna be a little different. But I do like it. I think it's really beautiful. So we'll see once we get the paint in here and get the table and chairs in here, how it all looks together. So I ordered another rug. I kept having doubts about the first one, so I ordered this one, hoping that it would give me a clearer direction for the design, that I could use the rug to pick a paint color that's complementing. So this is Elusive Green on the left and Ethereal Mood on the right. And I know I said Ethereal Mood was a bit muddy, but I think I actually prefer it with this rug. And this is the Elusive Green with the first rug I got, which is initially the combo that I'd chosen until I saw it in person. And I definitely like the other rug better. So even though I'm nervous, I feel like Ethereal Mood is the right choice for this room and gives it just that little bit of color while staying somewhat neutral. Now let's start getting some paint on the walls because I'm just too excited to wait. But first begins the long and tedious journey of the prep work. So that's the first thing I've got to do. And as sturdy and practical as this wall hook shelf is, it is just not as beautiful as I want it to be. But it does get a lot of use, so I plan to come up with a prettier solution for that. And I thought that once I unscrewed it from the studs, it would come off the wall, but it turns out every single screw and every hook was also screwed into the wall, so needless to say, that took a while. It feels like every time I start a paint project, I always seem to forget how long prep work takes, but I keep telling myself that smooth, beautiful walls are so worth it. We had some hairline cracks in the seams underneath the crown molding and in some of the corners of the room, which the inspector said was just cosmetic and not structural, thankfully, so I'm just using some spackling to fill in all of those seams as well. It's finally time to get some paint poured out, so I'm lining my paint tray with some tin foil. Usually I use a grocery bag, but it's just too loose, so I'm trying tin foil this time. I do this so that I can reuse the paint tray as many times as I can. But I will go ahead and say that the paint roller ended up getting caught in the tinfoil and ripping over time, so the paint still got on the tray anyways. It was a good idea, but it could use some tweaking. When I'm starting out with a brand new roller, I've noticed that it first puts little fuzzies in the paint once I roll it on the wall. So from now on, I'm going to wrap the roller in some tape and then pull it off, and that just removes any loose fibers. Now, I was really excited to get this paint on the walls already, so I took on this project alone during the week, even though my husband was at work and couldn't help me much. He definitely stepped in anytime he could, which I'm so grateful for. After the first day of painting, I was feeling so good and excited and just happy to be painting, but when it came to the third day, I was just a few brushstrokes away from a little mental breakdown. Not to be too dramatic, but Bruno Mars on full volume really kept me going. Next time I paint an entire room, I'll be doing so on the weekend when Dalton can help me. That is for sure. I'm still debating on painting this window frame the same color as the walls. I wouldn't be able to paint the inner window part because it's vinyl, but I will probably end up painting the frame. But I'm going to wait and see how it looks when the paint is dry. And I have this video sped up so fast, but this is the actual speed that I was going to paint this trim. But y'all, room makeovers are a labor of love, so it is so worth it. And I know I'm going to be so proud of all this hard work I put in after it's finished. This color is really beautiful and definitely a taupe green that's very versatile. It really adds that depth and moodiness that I want to this room. So here is the room completely painted. We decided to paint the back door as well. I think the color is really pretty. This is Ethereal Mood by Sherwin-Williams, and it's this nice taupey gray with a heavy green undertone to it. Something I kind of figured I would feel after it was painted was that this fireplace is way too white, just a stark white that really doesn't have any sort of warmth to it at all. So I definitely want to keep the lightness, but I want to go a little bit of a warmer, darker white just to give it some color so it doesn't feel like such a big contrast between the wall. And then I also don't love how this window frame is contrasting so much either. So I think I'm going to just paint the window frame to match the wall. These windows are vinyl, so I'll only be able to paint this wooden part of the window frame, and I can't paint this vinyl part, or if I did, it would permanently be that way. And I just don't think I want permanently green windows. So I may just leave the vinyl part white for now, but I did see where I could possibly use some paintable wallpaper and paint the wallpaper and stick it to the vinyl as like a temporary color cover that I could just remove in the future. So I may do that. It might not be for this makeover, it might be in the future, but I do like that as an idea. In part 2 of this makeover, I'll reupholster these dining chairs, hang up some curtains, give the fireplace a little makeover, go thrifting, and of course, decorate and give this space all the cozy special touches it deserves. So make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on because you don't want to miss the final part of this dining room makeover. And don't forget to use the link in my description to get your 1-month free trial of Skillshare. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.